There is hidden risk in every political transition. When there is change in power or change in government, everything about state-owned enterprises change. State-owned enterprises get new boards, they get new management, strategies are sometimes refocused and rewritten to reflect the direction that the new government wants to take. Sometimes managers of state-owned enterprises do not do this by having in mind how to really manage the new changes. This can sometimes hurt the prospect of the organization. And no wonder that sometimes we see that from certain period, certain state-owned enterprises do perform better than the other. And when you diagnose the issue, you're going to observe that because of transitional risk. So how do we successfully manage change when there is change in government? First, we need to focus on changes that matters. Not because there is change in government, everything about the state-owned enterprise is supposed to be changed. Sometimes certain things are working properly. Certain things were implemented by the previous board and management, and those things are supposed to be left as they are so that the organization can continue to flourish. Second, change implementation should be evidence-based, not assumptions. Most of the times, boards and management of state-owned enterprises, when they assume office, they have their own perceptions or assumptions about how certain things are supposed to be, rather than focusing on what is done and understanding the rationale and getting solid evidence to back why it is necessary to make changes. They just go ahead and implement changes by sometimes reinventing the wheel. This sometimes hurts the prospect of the state-owned enterprise. The next thing is that managers of state-owned enterprises, i.e. boards and management, are supposed to draw fine distinction between politics and performance of the state-owned enterprise, because performance of state-owned enterprise will be driven by professionalism, not politics. Though government will give strategic direction as to where the state-owned enterprise should focus. However, performance will be solely driven by professionalism, and therefore it is important that managers are able to draw this fine distinction. So SOEs are not allergic to change. However, change management should be done with tact so that change management will reset, will retain, and will reform. When we do this, then change will bring about value to the state-owned enterprise rather than hurting the prospect of the state-owned enterprise. So let me hear from you in the comment section. What do you think newly appointed management and boards of state-owned enterprise should do when implementing change, especially after transition?